In this video, I'm going to be covering why you need a moat and what a moat is. So if you haven't heard the term moat, it is usually used in the software setting, and what it refers to is your competitive edge and your distinction, your leverage from other people. Uh, with most businesses, you don't really need to do that much to get the same results as other people. You can essentially copy what they've done and get the same results, right? But to truly be one of the best entrepreneurs or have one of the best businesses, you need to have what's called a moat. Now, in software specifically, you have these lines of code. And with these lines of code, you're not necessarily innovating and making a completely new and revamped line of code that nobody's ever made before. What you're doing is you're just putting lines of code together and making a tool that other people will find useful. Now, what makes you stand out, or what protects you from anyone else, your competitors, your customers even, building that same exact tool using the same line of code? And yeah, you could use some cybersecurity and some proprietary systems. And mind you, I'm not a software expert, but what I do know is that what they focus on building and what many big brands focus on building is what's called a moat. Now, if I were to come out tomorrow with my version of Uber and say, hey, we're going to pay the drivers more and we're going to essentially just replicate the whole entire Uber system, am I going to see as much success as Uber? Is it going to be as sellable as Uber? Is it going to be anywhere near the successful as Uber has been? And the answer is no. The reason why is because Uber has created this massive brand and this massive infrastructure team where they no longer need to worry about most competitors that try to come in and disrupt the industry, unless it's something very massive or one of the bigger competitors with a lot of money. And so in this video, I want to cover exactly how you can build that moat without having to build a software company. And you want to ensure that you yourself have a moat for whatever business you go into or whatever endeavor that you do happen to focus on. So this might be career-wise, this might be entrepreneurial-wise, whatever it may be. You always want to have a certain type of moat. Now, the question you guys might be asking is, how exactly do you build a moat? Now, there are a couple ways that I am familiar with, but the number one highest leverage way of doing that is by building a personal brand. You can see tons of influencers and businesses online having a lot of success, and that is due to the fact that they can cultivate attention. And not just having views equals you having tons of success. What it means is that now you have the opportunity to put your offer out in front of multiple people. It means that you can actually make one story post and get 50 interested customers. It could be 50 interested potential hires. And you're just able to leverage this for anything that you really want to accomplish. And that leads me to my second point of building a moat, which is the talent. You want to have very, very talented people under you, people that understand the vision and people that can take the vision further than you could ever imagine it. You might start off just by yourself and have a really, really phenomenal idea, but without the execution from the right talent and the right people in place, your idea becomes just like everyone else's idea. But when you see the hiring market right now, you can see massive, massive companies like Google and Facebook paying hundreds of millions of dollars in bonuses and hiring incentives to bring on people from other companies who either know AI or are just higher level employees that they can then leverage for themselves. And the reason being is because they understand that that type of talent creates the moat that every other company wishes they had. You can't replicate a creative individual, or you can't replicate an individual who has a very talented gift. Now, there are multiple of those people, but to have that same person work in two companies is impossible. And so that's sort of your competitive edge. If you look at moat, just think of competitive edge. And so going back to the personal brand thing, if you build a personal brand, and this is currently what I'm doing right now in front of this camera, then you're able to attract the higher level talent that resonates with what you're saying. hopefully somebody resonates, or just like this video, if somebody resonates with this video and somebody resonates with my brand and resonates with what I do and is bought into my vision, then it just allows me to get my foot in the door and start this new relationship that can potentially get me closer to my goals and also closer to their goals as well. You always want to focus on, number one, building a brand, and then number two, hiring very, very good talent that will allow you to leverage your time and create more leverage for yourself. Now, number three is fairly newer. It's AI. I run a coaching business with my partner, and we have tons and tons of funnels and tons of automations and emails and setters, closers, team members, and all of that requires admin tasks. But we've found out that you can actually automate probably 85 to 90% of all the tasks. Now, why would I hire tons of people to do that job when I can hire one or two people to accomplish what would have taken 10 people to accomplish in a longer time span? Right. So this is the power of AI. What we use AI personally for is to build all our. It has honestly been one of those competitive edges that, frankly, I don't even want to talk too much about it because it is very powerful. And once in the hands of other people, then that no longer becomes a competitive edge. But that is, as of right now, the way we build our moat. So as an individual who's starting out or somebody at the same level as me, you must understand that in order to continue to excel, you must create something that is unreplicable. And when that is created, congratulations, you are one step closer to building a massive company, a massive brand that people trust and people go towards just because you've established that you're that guy and nobody can do what you can do. Once somebody feels like they can go around the block for cheaper and get the same exact result because nothing else is different, then you've lost the game. And so a lot of people get caught in that because they're just focused on the money and getting the results very quickly. But the long-term game is actually figuring out, okay, well, how can I leverage myself as much as possible? And how can I create this moat as big as possible to where you are your individual and opportunities come to you left and right. And there isn't any way that somebody can take those opportunities away from you because you are yourself. There's no replicating yourself. You exist and you have your own talents and you have your own unique abilities, and frankly you can't find that anywhere else. So I know all of you guys are like that, and you guys have specific things that you're really, really good at and things that you aren't good at. And so if you want to learn how to hire more people, better people, to build an 8-figure team, I've built a team that has gotten me to $1 million a month. Last year we generated $6.5 million in revenue. So it took me 1.5 years, and I can attribute most of that to my connections. And then number two, and most importantly, the talent that I have on this team. Without them, I wouldn't be able to get to the point where I'm at. If this has helped, this is going to be the first video of many videos that are going to be on this page. We're running back the videos and the content for 2026. So this was a very short one, but we will be dropping a lot more almost daily, hopefully, if business allows. But yeah, I'll see you guys later. In the comments, I want you guys to ask me any questions. I want to make videos on everything and anything about business. And I'll see you guys on the next one.